Well, hello, welcome to Double Talk. I am Mark Steffen.
I'm Michael Mandel. I'm not going to use my middle name like I did when Teddy Askin Sanchez was here because you're just using Mark Steffen.
You have a middle name?
Well, he uses his mother's middle name, so his mother's maiden name.
Oh, I see.
That's his middle name. I guess. I don't know what
I'm Mark Adams Steffen.
I'm Michael Schwartz Mandel.
Schwartz.
I thought that was a good one.
Okay.
You never see names like that, and for good reason.
Well, we should welcome ourselves back on the air.
Hello, us.
We've been
hello,
gone.
Dee and Bob Libby.
And we've been
other
gone a
people
few
who
weeks.
want us to mention them.
Well, we have been gone a few weeks.
We have. You've been gone 2 weeks.
More than that, actually. Well, we did some reruns.
Yes, we did.
And then I was on the road with the Shakespearean Touring Company.
Really? You should have done it in a theater. You would have had more people seeing it.
Well, we did.
On the road.
We toured it around southern New Mexico and West Texas.
Oh, I saw that play. Were you in that?
You went to El Paso to see our production.
I did.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
And so anyway, welcome back, folks. There's been a lot going on in the past week.
We missed one of the biggest things that happened. We hit national news with something. We made a big explosion in the news.
Yes, a big bang.
From two little bangs. Two little bangs
made the news. A couple of churches had small explosive devices go off.
One is near where I live.
One in a mailbox near the Presbyterian Church.
I thought it was in a mailbox on the road.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what the picture was in the paper. But then somebody who goes to that church said it was a mailbox attached
near
to
the church.
I don't know.
And then here's the Holy Cross Church where the bomb went off in a garbage can.
That was a bigger bomb, I think. That was more a bomb. The other one could have been fireworks.
Well, what's the next step? The church burnings?
And they would never do that. We don't live in South Carolina.
No, that's true.
Yes.
No, actually, I thought basically it was just a couple of kids having a bit of mischief.
Sounds like that to me because most of these, both places were close to where you could run out of your car, I guess.
Yeah, and I think the churches are probably overreacting because it's a one-time thing.
Although
it's a fluke, it's never going to happen again.
You know, in the climate we're in now, everybody's nervous. I mean, you worry about the TSA is here, and apparently the TSA misses 96% of any shady stuff.
Right.
Yet it's on all the time. But you have to watch. They talk about who's Rand Paul. He says he doesn't want anybody taping our conversations and doing stuff like that. They should only tape the conversations or record the conversations or listen into the conversations of the bad people.
Meaning on telephone?
Yes.
Or emails? Yeah.
Emails or on your phone.
Right.
How do you do that? Just the bad people. So you have to have your
surveillance. They're called politicians.
Your surveillance have to be
selected. Well, you know, I hope the church is spending a lot of money on overdoing these security systems because it helps the economy. We need that here in Las Cruces.
It helps all the economies, and the TSA probably helped the federal government.
A lot of jobs.
I know that where my religious institution is nervous and is adding people to watch.
But you guys always have been.
Yes, we always have.
Based on your history.
And for good reason. It's very iffy. You never know. Everybody hates the alien. Oh, wait a second. Isn't that what America is all about? Welcoming the alien.
We're all about that, right?
We're
all aliens at one point, except for the Indians.
They were aliens 40,000 years ago. And you know who lived here before that?
Who?
How would you know? There was no form of communication then. There was no form of recording. There were no bones here before 40,000 years ago, except for the little dinosaurs and those little pre-marks, those marks on the water.
Well, North America used to be attached to the African continent.
Everything was one piece of land.
Pangea.
Yeah. Remember that? That's when you could go take a taxi anywhere.
Yeah.
Now you need boats and stuff and airlines.
And can you get some pancetta on the airlines?
Pancetta on Pancia? You can do that.
But anyway, what else is going on?
I don't know. What were we talking about in the first place? Oh, we were talking about the Oh, but they did find somebody. They didn't find somebody, but they caught somebody placing a package down near Barnes & Noble. That was suspicious. But did they say it?
They evacuated the mall.
We're the best news you can have. We know as much as you do.
Yeah. Everybody at the mall is carrying a suspicious-looking package.
Yeah, you
it's
walk
called shopping.
Around. And did they look in it and find anything? I don't think they found anything.
Didn't.
They just left a package there.
But you know, the FBI does have a tip line you can call.
Oh, that's right. We have it here.
Do
we have that line?
There's actually a reward.
It's right here. It's right here. Is it here? Anybody got that tip line? We don't need any graphics. There it is. Call.
800-CALL-FBI. That's
How do you spell that? C-A-L-L. How do you spell FBI?
FBIA.
How do you know what? There's no 911 on my dial.
You can't find the 11?
Yeah, there's no 11.
Yeah.
There's no, I thought, so what do you do, 9 and 11? How do they know that?
There's no 11. 9, there's no 11.
There's no 911. Is that Susanna Martinez on a tip line?
Yes.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Is she working the tip line? You know, they talk about
She works for tips.
how they took away the NMSU's hotline for people people who have
crisis.
psychological problems. I used to work on a hotline in the, I guess, when I went to college.
Yes, I see.
And you'd be there, and people would call about either wanting to talk to you about their suicide that they're about to do, and they train you on that.
And you put them on hold. For suicide, press 1. For schizophrenia, press 2, 3, and 4.
No, I'd start laughing. I go, "You're killing me." Anyway, I did save some people, believe it or not. Hard to believe.
You just fell asleep.
You lose some, you save some. It doesn't matter. It's numbers. It's a numbers game. Statistics is what it's all about. But if you have any ideas, I know that you've probably seen this before.
Well, did they listen to you in high def? Because they'd have to be either high or deaf to put up with you.
Oh, what a standard one that is. So call the tip line. You get money if first of all, they have to be apprehended, and then they have to be convicted. I think you get $20,000. But
for the tip line. Well,
you're not doing the trial. You're not doing the finding this person. You just have to give a little hint of where this person might be, and within 5 years, you can see those $20,000.
If it leads to their arrest, do you have to pay tax on FBI tip money?
That's a good question.
I bet you do.
So now it's income. It's like insurance. You don't have to pay money on insurance. It's really insurance.
Right. Now
well, I don't know anything because I'm new here.
We're in campaign season, although the election is a year and a half away. But
what do you mean
season has started early.
What do you mean we? Are you a Democrat?
No, I'm not.
Are you a Republican?
No, I'm not.
Well, then what do you mean we?
Because
what do you mean we?
You can't get away from it.
What are you? It's not your campaign.
I'm an interested observer.
They don't even let you to watch the Republican debates. They don't let you do that because you have no horse in this race.
Well, Donald Trump might be independent.
He might be independent.
And then I'll have to vote for him.
That's true. He'll be the only. That would be interesting.
Except they don't let independents vote in the primaries in this state.
No, but you don't have to because there's not enough independents to have a primary. Who's he going to run against? Ross Perot? Is that who he's going to run?
He'll run against the Republicans or the Democrats.
I know, but that means he has to. Do you think he has enough money?
Send your money in to me, and I'll make sure Donald Trump gets it.
Yes, you have your own pack for Trump. And what you have for Trump is you have the ace of spades, and you're holding it up. That's a Trump card.
Trump card. Yeah, now, so that's underway, and it's all hype, really, at this point.
Theoretically, we should be doing more talking about it, but they speak so much more eloquently about it themselves, as well as both sides on cable shows.
Well, so far, it's just too early to really worry about, so I'm not going to. But we do have somebody who did get elected who is resigning from the job. They're retiring, and that's Judge Miller Burns.
And did you ever stand before her?
No.
I did a number of times. I think she was a
for
great
all
judge.
your crimes?
Well, for little things. Sometimes I didn't do anything, but they thought I did.
The way you
those
drive.
cops. Yes. Well, who can see?
So we can see the
Who
speed
can
limit?
tell who knows what's going on? No, there she is. She's very, you look at a judge. In fact, we've known a few judges, and judges can be nice.
So
they can be fair.
Probably your crimes and misdemeanors were adjudicated thoroughly and correctly
yes,
with
and
her?
It was fair. Yes. I have, you'd think you stand before a judge. I had nothing against Jim Locatelli either. I went before him. He was dismissed, but, while he was doing his job, he was doing it well.
Well, that's good.
For a while. And so is she. And she's been a judge for 16 years, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And she can go back into practice. I would think it would be very tiring to have people standing there in front of you, and you have to listen to their woes and
as they plead their case.
And they go, "Oh, but I had to get that text from my friend."
Yes.
There's a lot of those things that go in front of these judges.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man, texting and driving. What else happened? Oh.
Well, Jimmy Carter.
On the same level as Judge Miller Burns.
Jimmy Carter, he's 90 years old. He's come down with cancer, liver cancer.
Is he older? He's older than the first
spreading.
Bush, isn't he? He must be older.
He is.
Yes,
He is. He is. He's probably one of our greatest ex-presidents.
I would actually agree with you.
He's accomplished
Not
more
many people would agree with you.
as an ex-president than any other president I can think of.
As he said, he had no wars, not a bullet was fired during his term.
Yeah.
Of course, the Iranians held some hostages until he got out of office.
He tried to rescue them.
It shows you how fixed that was when they waited for the new administration. They could have done it while he was the president, but somebody fixed it to make it look good for the next administration. It's a matter, politics is not just your values. It's a matter of how you make your values look. When you talk about, well, I don't want to talk about things.
Okay.
We're getting a lot of things to do. We'll watch it.
We can go into this thing into detail some other time.
Yes, but I like Carter. He was a smart guy. He was amicable.
Not a particularly great president, but he's a great ex-president.
You just said you liked him. You said he was a great
I think he's a
president.
great ex-president.
Oh, he's great as an ex-president.
Yes.
Oh, is that what you mean?
He got more accomplished as an ex-president
He
than
was
he did
not
as a president.
manipulative. He was a white man, right? I believe, from the deep south.
Not as white as they come. Yeah.
Yes, and the politicians at Washington did not help him because he wasn't from the Washington crowd. People talk about
Neither was Clinton.
Clinton had a nice way with people.
He was from Arkansas.
He was very friendly. He was amiable, and he was friendly not only with politicians but with women, which helps, I think.
Well, Bill
he
wasn't
wouldn't.
dummy.
The only thing Carter said was, "I've had dirty. I may have had
Lust in his heart."
unclean thoughts." Yes, but he didn't act on it.
And he said that in the Playboy interview.
He did. He was Playboy. What do you expect?
Yes. Now, we have time to talk
Do we?
about this legal case that...
Oh, look what you have next. How'd that happen?
Oh,
No.
I don't know. Oh, did we talk about that? Yeah, we talked about...
No, we didn't talk about that.
We skipped that, didn't we? Yeah, let's talk about the Amherst disaster.
I was talking about Carter being a white boy who couldn't get anything done in Congress because he didn't have any friends, any association with people in Congress. Now, unfortunately, Obama has the same problem. He has it for a different reason. We won't say what reason, but look at that color of that water.
Yellow River.
Yes, people have things against color. That's a great color for a river.
That's
If that's how they should have
that's in
been.
Colorado, near the New Mexico border.
Slightly in New Mexico. It's near Farmington.
Well, yeah, but
The Animas
the
River.
spill happened in Colorado.
Figures. Those guys have a lot of toxins from mining.
Right. Now, there's the Animas. The name Animas means soul in Spanish. Now, there's Animas Peak just up the road on the way to Hillsboro. There's the Animas Mountains down in the Boot Hill of New Mexico. And the Animas River comes down from Colorado through New Mexico. It touches the corner of Utah and then goes into Colorado and meets up with the Colorado River.
I'm waiting to see where you're going with this.
And so Animas is a common term. They name a lot of geographical sites.
What does that
after
have to do with the spill? Are you going to talk about some of the soul of...
And luckily, none of that stuff is going to affect us down here.
Yes, and who cares about other people?
It winds up in Arizona.
See, we should do the water next time in yellow.
But see,
to show.
Farmington and a lot of the reservations get their water from that river.
Oh, yes.
And they won't be doing that anymore for
two
the next
reservations can't do
10,000 years.
The other thing is it gets into the water table, doesn't it? I mean, you have a lot of heavy metals like cobalt and...
strontium
and lead.
Lead. And
not
cadmium.
Good. Cadmium's good.
Mercury.
Cadmium stops nuclear reactions.
Cadmium is
cadmium,
also
beryllium
highly
rods.
toxic.
Yes,
to human
well,
life.
But it does stop nuclear reactions.
So
there goes the soul of the river. Is that what you're saying? Do you want to tie
Yes.
this in?
Well,
when you say the soul, you're
soul
talking
of the
about
river.
animus.
And the EPA, who caused this, they actually created their own Superfund site. Ironically.
Well, it's ironic that the EPA caused it because they're the ones who tried to stop these things. And there you go. Bad luck. Bad timing.
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break and see you after the break.
After these words.
After what words?
Let's see.
These?
Attention users of the blood-thinning drug Xarelto. If you or a loved one has been hospitalized or died from serious internal bleeding after taking Xarelto, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call the Sentinel Group now. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys are ready to help fight for you. You won't pay a thing until your case is settled. Call the Sentinel Group now. Don't wait.
Have you or a loved one suffered complications after uterine surgery from the use of a power morcellator? If so, call the Sentinel Group now. You may be entitled to significant compensation. The FDA estimates that 1 in 350 women undergoing a myomectomy or hysterectomy have unsuspected sarcoma or cancer in the uterus. The Sentinel Group's experienced network of attorneys have years of experience fighting big medical companies and is ready to fight for you. So if you've developed uterine cancer, call the Sentinel Group now for a free confidential consultation.
Welcome to La Buena Vida Women's Club, located away from the crowds but close to home. Come in throughout the day for Jazzercise, the world's dance fitness leader for nearly 40 years. Treat yourself to a relaxing massage, or unwind in the lounge area or outside on the balcony with friends. La Buena Vida Women's Club, located and designed with women in mind. For information, call Diane at 650-9721.
Fiesta Motors. Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there. Celebrate Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
We're not ready. We're still doing our oh, there we are.
We're back.
Your hair
This
is
is
ready.
Double Talk right here, Mark and Michael.
There we are.
And
Remember the old days when Teddy Sanchez used to be on the show? That was last week.
I mean, the host before you? Yeah, co-host.
Yes.
We were just getting ready to talk about this legal case that was just adjudicated.
Because we just finished talking about the elections and people
And a
who
judge.
were,
Yes,
a
and,
judge and President Carter.
Um,
So here's something that's on the docket, right?
Yeah.
And you cause havoc by driving your car on the wrong side of the Sonoma Ranch Road.
You crash into 3 cars.
3 cars. You get out of the
100 miles an hour.
100 miles an hour on that road. You know, and you get out and you're screaming psycho babble.
And so you get arrested.
It's okay.
And people go to the hospital because of you.
Some
Cars
are
are wrecked
still in
because of you.
wheelchairs.
Yeah, some will never be the same.
But you're not going to do that again.
And you go to jail, and then you go to court.
And then you're on bail, I guess.
You're out on bail until the court proceedings to find you guilty or not guilty of these infractions.
And she was put away for a year in a
Mental facility?
Mental facility, but she's learned her lesson.
And the judge dismissed
Learned her lesson.
because she was deemed to be no longer a threat to society.
She actually was on drugs at the time.
She
Not
wasn't-
that I would say that drugs are bad. I'm not saying drugs are bad in this case.
Well, if
yeah,
they make you
you can't
psycho.
handle it.
So who's going to? Well,
What
I'm
are
sure
you
there'd
gonna
be
say?
quite a big civil suit against her.
There is a civil suit against her, yes.
Yeah, because they need to sue her for recompense for all the damages she did.
Yeah, she caused a lot of stuff. You know, and I guess what we're saying is we're kind of surprised that that's what
Macias
happens.
threw it out.
I mean, she's a girl without a prior history.
Does she have rich parents?
I don't know.
Who could afford a
What do
good
you
an
think?
expensive
What do you
lawyer?
think?
Yes. Somehow they got to the judge, and he came around to their way of thinking.
You know, when people say, what do you think about a case, you really have to know the case. In this case, we're talking about what we think about it. That's what we think about. We think, well, that's a little ridiculous, causing so much damage, being able to hit 3 cars. I mean, people...
Cripple people.
That's reckless driving.
Oh,
You think?
reckless endangerment, yes. At the very least.
We
And
don't know.
DUI.
I guess they have... Yes,
Driving
that's
under the
true,
influence
that's
of
true.
whatever.
Yeah.
Demons, I guess.
The demons. Ooh, the demons. And, you know, I feel maybe that's a little light, but who knows? On the other hand, Robert Flores, whose baby died in 2007, because this is a big case at the time.
Smothered the kid.
He put the kid in a clothes thing and went out to pick up a case of beer, but it took him 3 hours to come back. It was a little
He
dubious.
put a blanket on top of the kid so
No, I
he
think he
wouldn't
put
hear
it
it cry
on. Is that what he did? No,
in
somebody
the
else.
laundry basket.
That was somebody else, I think. He
Well,
just put it in the laundry
He
basket.
came back and the kid was smothered.
Anyhow, it's now 7 years later.
He's in
Kid's
prison,
30
right?
years old. No,
He never went to prison?
he might have been in prison.
Sure. Prison.
But he's out because he did an appeal, and the appeal found that it took 7 years to go to trial, or at least 6 years to go to trial, and that's far too long legally to let somebody go. Actually, Robert Flores was a student of mine ages ago.
Yeah.
And
What class?
in English.
I see.
And
It wasn't child rearing, apparently.
no, it was not child rearing. And he was a nice guy. I can't say anything bad about Robert Flores. So, you know, I'm sure he feels very bad. He felt very bad. It was his kid after
Probably
all.
never get over it.
I mean, the poor guy. I mean, I feel bad for a guy like Robert Flores, but I don't feel so bad for Jasmine Miller. And I don't know. It's the same reason people.
I don't feel bad for her. I feel bad for the people she injured.
Of course, we feel bad for that. I feel bad for the baby, but I think Robert Flores probably suffered quite a lot.
I'm
And,
sure he will be to this day.
Yes. So, a lot of trials are not just legal, but they're the emotional impact they have on people.
Now,
We're not going to talk anything more about
I was
that.
driving under Las Cruces High School the other
I thought you
day.
were driving under the influence. No, you're driving
Under the influence of the education.
of the building.
And I was going down El Paseo, and you drive underneath that structure now.
Yes.
School is now in session. The school, actually, they're not finished with the school. The first phase is done. There's 2 more phases
And
to
if
go.
you look at it from above, the first phase was pretty monstrous. I mean, in terms of square footage, it's 2 stories tall. It's got this incredible bridge. I mean, if you want to know how to spend money, just as LCP's public school system.
Yeah. And that's not just a bridge for people to walk back and forth. There's a study area, there's chairs there, and where
That's
they can
kinda
sit
cool.
and read and look out at the traffic.
And the first reports back is that it's quite awesome. It's quite an interesting feeling to be walking on that thing. And if I, you know, if
looking
they ever
forward
look
to
at
an
my,
open house.
if they look at my school records, I'll be back there someday.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, there's a few
What, you
things that
forged all
efficient.
those college
Yeah,
records?
you know, I was very bad in the in 10th grade. I had an art class that I just couldn't do it.
Well, you know, some reform schools are better than others, Mike.
They could reform us.
Now, we do have an aerial shot of
The aerial shot's good.
of the Las Cruces High School as planned. That's not the way it is yet now. There it is.
It's colorful. A lot of it's there.
All that
In
grass
fact, that
isn't
blue
in yet.
stuff, there's a parking lot on the east side. That's done. All that stuff is pretty much done. Most of the blue stuff.
Yeah, they put all that grass
And they're
in
going to be
there.
tearing down other stuff and redoing it. Cool school.
The school was built in the early 60s, I believe.
You went there, right?
Late 50s, I graduated
It
from
was brand new then.
Go Bulldogs.
My daughter graduated there. In fact, most of the people graduated from that. At least a third of the people.
See, when I
in
went
Las
there were only
Cruces.
2 high schools in town, not counting
Only.
the alternative high in the SIA. That's where all the kids.
There was still alternative?
Yeah. where they-
San
Andreas.
SS San
yeah.
Andreas.
I didn't go to that one.
You couldn't get in, huh?
No, it was an alternative.
You know,
enough.
they also let super smart kids in there, you know, ones who were reading Shakespeare backwards, because you're not supposed to read it backwards.
I see.
Yes.
What else is going on this weekend? Oh, you know, there's a big beer fest this weekend.
What makes you say that?
Oh.
It started
Last
Friday.
night. Yeah, today it's over at the Farm and Ranch Heritage Museum.
We like Beer Fest. Remember, I did mention that taco beer and tequila fest. I think a beer fest, a little simpler for people to understand. And you don't get as drunk.
And so, yeah, you get to sample beers you might not otherwise get a
There's
chance
like
to
200
taste.
beers. You know, there's so many beers. You yourself said there was a new beer, Picacho. What is it? Picacho Street Brewery?
Something like that, yeah.
We know there's Spotted Dog, then there's the Bosque one, and of course the old standby High Desert,
High Desert,
which always has good beer.
it's kind of in my neighborhood.
People are making such great beers, and
What else is going on this weekend, though?
oh, there must be other things. Are
well,
there any other thing else?
Yeah, there's a big
Do you know
play
any good
opening
weddings?
downtown.
Is there a wedding this?
Yeah, there's a
weekend?
big fat gay wedding.
Really?
Well, that's the name of the play.
You know, you're not supposed to call people fat.
Well,
Big fat
if
gay
they're fat,
wedding.
they're fat. And this is
Yes.
called the Big Fat Gay Wedding. It's a play. Is it a musical
It's a play on something.
or is it a comedy?
It's a comedy,
It's a
definitely.
comedy. I don't think it's a musical, though.
Teddy Aspen Sanchez,
Our own Teddy Aspen
is in it. I don't think he's the one getting married, and we know he's not gay. We're pretty sure he's not gay. But not that there's anything wrong with that, Teddy. We don't care. It's okay.
So, but anyway, that's open.
He could be
that
in a
opened last
musical.
night. That's on for the next 3 weekends. So that's going on tonight.
Everything. What else? Something else.
Gone Girls at Boba.
Yes, I went to see that last night.
Oh, did you enjoy it?
I'm not sure how I liked it yet. I'm still trying to decide.
What'd you have to eat with it?
We
Did you
went
do
to
the dinner show?
We didn't do the dinner show.
Oh.
We went to the after show, and we had oysters at De La Vega. You know, because Friday night, those women are not going to be there, but women will be
Well, the
there.
show's kind of based on the
Girl
Andrews
singers.
sisters.
Well, not really. It's supposed to be the 60s and 70s girl groups.
Oh, yeah, Bette
And the
Midler.
Andrews sisters is not that.
That's true. But Bette Midler did sing Andrews sisters' songs.
She did.
Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy and all that. Tuesday at the Rio Grande Theater,
Tuesday.
you will see a preview of the Stephen Sondheim musical, Passion, which will be opening at the Rio Grande Theater at the end of the month.
The 22nd and 23rd is when they're going to be there.
Yes. So
So
next
that's
weekend, Megan McQueen is directing this version.
Megan McQueen had been in that play in Pennsylvania. Did you read that? It was on
Yes.
Facebook.
And it's a play that's rarely done, Sondheim play.
Yeah, I never heard of it. But I like Sondheim. You like most Sondheim?
Some more than others.
Yeah, some more than others. But we'll see how this one is. I already have tickets for it.
Anyway, Tuesday night is for free. The Tuesday night thing at the Rio Grande Theater. Every
But
other
it's also
Tuesday.
on, I think, August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th in a row. And it's with
That's
that
not
new...
free.
No, it's not free. Also, you could donate, and that's how I got my tickets.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, so it was free.
So there'll be some
I just had to donate.
of Las Vegas' better singers and actors.
Yeah,
will be there.
and good director.
And
So
also
that's good.
today and tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday at the Amador Hotel, they're having the Amador Boutique. Now, this is to help raise funds, I believe, for the
Doesn't
renovation.
Don't
of the
go
hotel.
looking for that sign. It's not there. But that's pretty much what it looks
That's
like
the
inside.
interior
They're
of it.
working to do it.
There will be various vendors there selling handcrafted items.
And we did a show
And food.
on that.
We did a segment.
Heather Pollard is running this thing. She's a great organizer.
So we'll probably stop in there, won't we?
We'll go see that.
If you're there and you see us, come up, say hello. We'd love to talk to you. And
That'd be what? Later today.
today, it's Saturday, it's from 10 to 2, going on right now, and then Sunday from 12 to 4.
Oh, after church is out.
Yes,
That's almost like a church. It's a great building. It's old.
it is.
Nice museum.
Yeah, it's a great, and they're restoring it back to its original condition, more or less.
What else is happening?
Music in the Park tomorrow, Sunday.
Yes.
As always, there's Music in the Park this summer. 2 bands will be at Young Park.
What
One from
else
El
are we
Paso.
saying? Oh, this coming week, we think Bob is starting at the Black Box Theater.
Box Theater, that's a new play, comedy.
And that should be it for this weekend.
So
Next weekend, I believe.
Yeah, so we're all out of time here at Double
Yes.
Talk. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be here next week, same time, same station.
And thank you for stopping by and, being a host of
I'm
the
glad
show.
I could be on my own show for a
That's
change.
good. Yeah, it's good to see you.